Oh, we good.
Show, cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, teacher. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on because it takes two to tango and I need to hear his side of the story. So she's driving me insane.
What up, what up, what up? Hit that like button, peoples.
We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
What up, King James? What up, y'all? Lalu, what up? Search first, gatekeeper. Like it and share it. Subscribe. Let's go. Let's go.
A beautiful dark-skinned sister, like my grandfather on my paternal side, that blue, black, velvety. She was upset with her enslaved ancestors. She was upset about her ancestors during her enslavement because they hadn't presented themselves or made themselves more presentable to the slave monster so that they would be raped so that she would be lighter. I came across a proverb saying, reasoning is the shackles of a coward. So, for African proverbs, you got to stop and think. You can't just keep right on rolling. You have to stop and think. And I'm saying, okay, that's where we have professional Negroes whose job it is to come up with so many excuses as to why something can't be done that it doesn't get done. So you spend days and days and days, weeks and months and years reasoning why it can't be done. And I need to clarify that because in the roster community, reasoning is a positive thing. You have a conversation because you're trying to reach a higher level of understanding. Reason, to me, really describes our mental side in terms of the thinking process, where we've come to the point where we're using European logic, we're using Machiavelli to interpret the world. We're African, but we're using their reasoning, European reasoning, your reason to understand what's going on. If somebody's walking down the street and they're talking to themselves and they're fighting in the wind and they're hollering and screaming, and we say that person's crazy. But if we're thinking out of the mind of Europeans, that's seen as normal. That's insane. If you're not thinking out of your own mind, if you're in hate of your own ancestors, nobody does this. Nobody's running away from their traditions. And any people who's come to power, they've always kept their traditions close. Always. We're the only people on the planet who are in hatred of our traditions, who are in hatred of our ancestors. There was a incident that it still, shakes me when I think about it, where this sister, dark-skinned sister, beautiful, and it's like to say beautiful and dark-skinned are like, there's something odd. The beautiful dark-skinned sister, like my grandfather on my paternal side, that blue, black, velvety, she was upset with her enslaved ancestors, and this was during a conversation about our enslavement. She was upset about her ancestors during her enslavement because they hadn't presented themselves or made themselves more presentable to the slave monster so that so that she would be lighter. But that was, and she was like, and nobody freaked out about her comment. It was like, okay, I get how she feels. But to even have that as a possible idea in your head, that of course, since you're ugly, you're black, you're ugly. Since you're the darker you are, the uglier you are. But to even have that idea in your head that it would have been a positive for your ancestors because it would have benefited you, that to me is like the worst of the possible reason. Okay? So even though we may not use their theories, it's the way that we interpret reality, the way that we interpret our condition through somebody else's eyes. And the reason is whenever something goes on with us, we're always finding a way to blame us. That's the logic that we carry. And we're not, that's a subconscious. We're not consciously saying, okay, well, how can I benefit white folks here? No, it's just automatic. So we don't do certain things and we don't behave in certain ways. And people talk about the difference between when a European comes into a meeting of black folks or a black person comes to a meeting of Europeans, the response is different.
Man, woo! That's how you start a show right there. The voice of reason back up in here. I think we warned folks online. We told folks all week long, these topics are going to slap you upside your spirit. I'm swinging at your spirit today. Huh? Come on. Now, you do know. See, let's just get into it, right? Before I even tell you the topic. Listening to that brother, all of the trauma that we've been through as a people, and we're now getting wiser about generational trauma and how it's passed down genetically, and generation after generation after generation, we're passing down wounds, right? Now, doesn't this quote sound a little different? It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Jiddu Krishnamurti. Doesn't that sound a little bit different after listening to the brother pontificate? Right? See, you ain't got to like me. You don't. I'm not here for you to like me. But let me tell you something. And I'm going to keep saying this again and again and again and again. Relationships are spiritual by nature. They are the university of you. This is how you are revealed to yourself. Right? But look where you came from. If we're talking about John Bowlby, that's the 50s. We talk about John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth, 50s, 60s, 70s. We talking about attachment theory. Think about generationally what we have been through. You trying to tell me that's not being passed down? Is that what you're telling me? That's not being passed down? It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Now, the people who were the most abused, listen, if you neglect and abuse a child, according to John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth, who are the forerunners of attachment theory. If you neglect and abuse a child, you're going to get a fearful avoidant if they're abused and neglected, right? You're going to get, if you just neglect a child, you may get anxious, preoccupied, or dismissive avoidant, right? This is bedrock psychology right here. So if you look at Black folk in America, who as a people have been more abused than us? I'll wait. 1-800-920-1580. So when we start hearing terms like the Dark Triad, that's our topic tonight. The Dark Triad, okay? Does Dark Triad reasoning dictate our outlook on relationships? Now, please understand, when we talk about narcissism, narcissism is on a spectrum, okay? Everybody want to use the word narcissism, but nobody wants to pick up a book and actually read it from cover to cover and then put that one down and read another and another and another and another and really, really, really immerse themselves in the empirical data that's out there about narcissism. Two, listen, here you go. Everybody has narcissistic traits. Everyone. But that doesn't make everyone a narcissist. Okay? NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, in the DSM-5. Okay. Okay. That's somebody who has been clinically. Okay. The personality disorder. Okay. I want y'all to be clear on that. That's what that is.